Welcome to the Fallible Man Podcast, your home for all things man, husband, and father. We provide content to help the men become the men they want to be. My name is Brent, and I am the Fallible Man. On today's show, we're going to talk about the value of individuality in a world full of clones. Oh my goodness, so many people trying to be the same people all the time. How just being you can alleviate stress in your life, and finally, just how being you is beneficial to society at large. Stick around to the end for 3 thoughts that grant you freedom to be who you are and be happy about it. We could all use a little happiness. Stick around, guys.
This is the Fallible Man Podcast, your home for everything man, husband, and father. Here is your host, the Fallible Man, Brent Dowling.
Hey guys, welcome back. I am Brent, I am the Fallible Man, and can you look around at the world and, I thought I was bad when I was a kid, but it is incredible just how bad it is these days. Everybody wants you to be different. Everybody wants you to be unique, as long as unique is exactly what they want it to be. Unique, can I do quotes? Air quotes for all of you who can't see it. Unique is relative to them, right? They don't want you to be truly unique. They want you to be unique as long as you think the same thing they do, look the same way they do, act the same way they do, and do everything basically exactly like they do. It's kind of insane. I don't understand how anybody thinks that this is a normal way to be. Growing up, we had so many kids that all dress and act the same way. So I grew up in the 90s. For all of you who don't know, that was the introduction to sagging jeans. I'm sorry. That was not my fault, but yes, I did participate. Silver tab jeans and cheap Con All-Stars. Comment below if you remember when Con All-Stars were the poor kid's shoe, because that's what I wore because they were the cheap $10 Payless shoe. Anybody under the age of 25 right now is going, wait, Con All-Stars for $10? Yeah, they were the poor kid's shoe, and you only wore them because you couldn't afford to buy the other shoes because other shoes were expensive. But you know what? Looking back, they were pretty great shoes all along, and now they're $70 or $80 a pair, right? But we had grunge. I say but a lot. Sorry about that. I don't know if I'll edit it out or not. We had grunge. That was the beginning area of Pearl Jam and Nirvana and Stone Temple Pilots and some of the great grunge bands of the Seattle era. And back then, my parents used to tell me the same thing. Just be you. You don't need to be anybody else. You don't have to. That was my dad's response to the fact that I wanted the same shoes as everybody else. Was you don't have to be like everybody else. He just wanted me to be me, which looking back is a gift. My parents were so amazing for that they just encouraged me to be who I was going to be. They didn't want me to be like everybody else. They didn't want me to follow the grain and just be another sheep, because it's bad. Yeah, sorry, I really did that. Guys, I'm a goofball. I'm getting more comfortable in front of the camera. This is my 6th episode, and I'm starting to get my feet under me. So, yeah, you get the raw me. Sorry. Not sorry. People want you to be an individual. Then, even though we all looked exactly the same, dressed exactly the same, wore our hair exactly the same, wore the same pants, sagged them to our knees. I don't know why. It's a horrible trend back then, and it's still a horrible trend today that I see every now and then. But everybody wanted you to be extremely yourself as long as it was just like them. And we haven't come a long way, guys. I hate to admit that in 2020 we haven't outgrown 1990. Sadly, if I talk to my parents, and when I talk to my parents, I don't think we've outgrown 1940, 1950, or 1960 even. I mean, this is not new. Individuality is what everybody says they want you to be as long as it agrees with them and what they believe and what they think. But I'm here to tell you that individuals change the world. So grab a cup of coffee or whatever you drink. If you don't drink coffee, I'm sorry. There's still hope for you. Grab your energy drink. Depending on what time of day it is, hey, grab something better. Whatever you need, have a cup of coffee and hang out with me for a little while, guys. So individuals are world changers. I mean, look at people who thought outside the box. My wife loves the shirt that says, well-behaved women are rarely remembered by history. You know what? I'm going to look for that and I'll put it up over here. Or over here. I'm still getting used to the whole backwards camera thing. But I'll put it up somewhere in here if I can find it. The exact quote, because I'm sure I butchered it, but it's true, right? So we just had Susan B. Anthony posthumously pardoned by the president. Stop. Just time out. No politics. Not going there. However, Susan B. Anthony was amazing. Susan B. Anthony was charged with a crime because she voted when it was illegal for women to vote. She was fined and she basically told the courts, no. And never paid the fine. Susan B. Anthony made such incredible history that her face is on the $1 coin. If you don't know that, look at coins. They're the little metal things some people carry in their pocket that go in coin machines really well. You know, everything's on a debit card these days, even soda machines. It's kind of crazy. But Susan B. Anthony's on the $1 coin. Who else is on the $1 coin? Oh, wait. Sacagawea. That's a newer one. Susan B. she was the first woman on a coin. And who's on the $1 bill? Washington. So, I mean, look at the company that they kept. But hey, look at those people. Those people were all boat rockers. None of them were looking at the world the same way everybody else did. They all did their own thing. Look at the Wright brothers. You know the Wright brothers? I'm finding it very disturbing how much history... Oh, that was going to be a hard ass. I'm going to have to pull that out later. How much history is not taught in school these days. I mean, it's mind-boggling. My wife's little brother is younger than we are by several years. And so, I mean, we were getting married when he was, I think, 5 my wife and I got married. And I was watching him go through school and helping him with schoolwork over the years. And I was amazed at how much history he was not learning. Now, I have children. My kids started first grade and third grade this year. I'm very proud and both heartbroken at the same time that my children are that old already. And I think it's really important that I teach them history, because a lot of history that you and I grew up with, sorry, I'm assuming ages here. A lot of history that people in my age group grew up with just isn't being taught in school anymore for some reason, and I don't understand why. But these are people in history that changed the world. The Wright brothers flew the first airplane, right? Tell me that was inside the box thinking. I can't see it. Like I said, I'll do pictures for the video version of this. How about Galileo? Galileo, if you don't know your history, was exiled by the church because he's the guy who said, you know what? The earth, it revolves around the sun. The sun does not revolve around the earth. He was exiled. The church ostracized him, exiled him, excommunicated. Did they excommunicate or discommunicate? Excommunicate, sorry. They excommunicated him, and basically told him he was going to hell because he challenged their ideas. Lo and behold, hey, Galileo had a point. People who go with the flow are generally unremarkable. It's the people who break the mold. It's the actual individuals who go against the grain, who go against the norm, who go against what the crowd is doing. Yes, I just did air quotes again. Sorry. I'm a dork. They're the ones we read about in history. They're the ones that we look at 10 years later, 50 years later, 1,000 years later and go, wow. They're the only ones we still remember 1,000 years later. So, that should be enough for you to understand that individuality is important. Going along with the rest of the world, that's just because all the idiots are going the same way doesn't make it right. I don't know that I can say that any nicer, but yeah, just because everybody's going away doesn't make it correct. So be an individual, guys. You have an opportunity to be an individual every single day. And keeping up with the Joneses, is that an old term? Does anybody know that term? If you're keeping up with the Joneses, that means you're trying to keep up with people who set the standard in your neighborhood or in your community, blah, 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 right? I don't know if that's an outdated term yet. I'm 40 years old, and I'm finding out a lot of things that I thought were not outdated are apparently outdated. Who knew, right? It's funny what's outdated as you gain some perspective through some age. But keeping up with the Joneses that's why 80, I'm going to throw out a random number because I don't know. I'll try and look it up between here when I edit the video and fix it. But, a vast majority of Americans, and I can't talk about the world because I'm not that smart, a vast amount of people are in debt, in ridiculous, copious amounts of debt. And it's because everybody is trying to keep up with the appearance. On my Instagram channel, I follow a lot of entrepreneurs and business people. And one of the memes, or I don't know, is it a meme when it's a picture that actually has a lesson, or is it just a meme when it's funny? Someone comment on any of my platforms. Someone tell me, someone answer that question for me. Is it a meme if it teaches you something, or just if it's funny? I'm bad at this, guys. But one of the nice little images has a picture of a guy driving a really expensive car with a bunch of jewelry on, which I've never understood. And it says, looks like $1 million, zero in the bank account. Then it's got a picture of, I think it was Gates standing in line at a street burger joint. Just in, khaki slacks and a frumpy shirt. Looks like he just rolled out of bed. One of the richest men in the world. Okay? Appearances are not everything. Stop trying to keep up with the Joneses. Stop trying to be what you're not. Instead, be yourself. Be an individual. And you'll save a lot of money and a lot of headache. So you need to give yourself permission. Okay? Work with me here. Give yourself permission to stop being other people and just be you. Yeah, I'm pointing at the camera. Still getting this whole YouTube thing. Really not great at this. I managed another channel, but it was really impersonal. You need to give yourself, I'm pointing at me now, okay? You need to give yourself permission to just be you. Yeah, that's probably some of that psychological junk that they teach in some psychology course or some crap like that, but it's real, guys. Absolutely 100% real. We are so obsessed with appearances. We are so obsessed with trying to fit in. We are so obsessed with trying to hit a mark that we may or may not ever hit. Don't know why my voice broke, sorry. that we may or may not ever hit. I just hit my mic. Ooh, sorry. Lost the train. Oh, here it comes. That we ever hit, we don't know. Okay? You know you can control what you put in and what the work you put in. You cannot grant yourself the results, but you can grant yourself peace by granting yourself permission to stop trying to be everybody else and just start being you. Being you is good enough. Being you is more than enough. So, give yourself permission. Take a breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Give yourself the permission to just start being you. Once you square with that, once you allow yourself to be the person that you are, you will take such a huge breath of relief. It will be unreal, guys. I'm not kidding. This isn't some new age crap. Sorry, loud truck. This isn't some new age crap. That's not me. I know you guys haven't spent a great deal of time with me, but really not me. Give yourself permission and you will be able to relax. Because once you are okay with being you, everything else just starts getting easier. Now, we're going to take 2 minutes and I'm going to roll the clip over to our sponsor. And I'll be right back.
Today's episode brought to you by thefallibleman.com. That's right, it's us. Head over to www.thefallibleman.com and check out our blog, updated twice a week with new content and links to all of our social media offerings. Tag or search us at The Fallible Man or at Fallible Man on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and other social medias for daily content. While you're there, check out our attitude swag, shirts, cups, stickers, and more. Again, that's www.thefallibleman.com.
All right. The nice thing about radio and video is the sponsor commercials are really short when you're filming because I get to put them in afterwards. I don't have to sit through them. So, just an add-on. Said buy our merch and gear. The shirt behind me, if you're seeing that, it's one of my favorite shirts that I designed. That one is available on all our stores, on our website, on Amazon, on Teespring, on Redbubble, everywhere. And so is the one I'm wearing. I love these clothes, guys. Honestly, these are the clothes I wear. I don't design crap that I wouldn't wear. I don't. So check that stuff out. I hope you like the B-roll clip for my sponsor, which is me. But hey, let's get back to it. All right. So I got to skip down my notes here. Just being you causes other people to think. And it causes other people to think. Ooh, I said that wrong. Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to leave that in because it just is me. What I meant to say was just being you causes other people to think and change. That's right. Be a trendsetter, okay? Giving yourself permission to be you, being comfortable in your own skin with who you are, that gives you the ability to help other people find peace. Oh, crazy, right? Being the person you are, being who you are meant to be, instead of trying to be everybody else, is going to freak other people out. It is so much fun. Okay? They don't know how to react to people not being like everybody else. Don't believe me? Ask Galileo. House arrest for most of the end of his life. Why? Because he wasn't like everybody else. Because he figured something out that nobody else could see. Galileo was considered a freak and a heretic because he thought differently. The guys, by being who you are, instead of being like everybody else, instead of trying to fit in, instead of trying to follow the crowd and keep up with the Joneses and all that nonsense, being who you are makes everybody else around you stop and start to analyze. You can start. Sorry, I'll have to try and clip that out. Getting a lot of loud trucks today, sorry. You can be a trendsetter in your own right, but not being like a trendsetter that everybody else is following, this whole fad thing we're trying to get away from. No, I want you to be a trendsetter because if you choose to be you, I never have this much traffic except when I'm trying to record, I swear. Boy Scout, I wasn't a Boy Scout, I said the Boy Scout thing. 3 fingers in the air, is that the Boy Scout thing? I'll have to ask my friend, he's a Boy Scout leader. Okay? By being you, you get to free other people. Because once other people start to see someone they respect, someone they know, being themselves, someone they know break the mold and start just being themselves, then you are freeing other people. What is the deal today? Wow. They know I have a microphone on. It frees other people to start the journey to be themselves. It lets other people have the freedom to stop being like everybody else. You may set people free that you will never even realize what you have done for them. It is incredible, and it's all because you choose to be yourself instead of everybody else. So, if you're listening on the podcast, you can't see. I have a mohawk. Well, I have it slicked back right now. So just striped down the middle of my head going backwards. It has nothing to do with trends or fashion. If you've never seen me, other than the picture of the podcast, you see I have a beard. I have a pretty good sized beard. It's not like wizard length yet, but I'm working on it. I trimmed it once this year. It was much lower, actually. Look at my very first video on my YouTube channel, and you can see it got pretty long this last year. I don't wear a beard because it's a fashion statement. I like my beard. I don't have a mohawk because I'm trying to fit in with anybody. Trust me, I don't fit in with anybody around me. I actually had to laugh at work earlier this week because I work a full-time 9-to-5 job. It's more like 6 a.m. to 4 a.m. or 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. I work a full-time job, and one of the other guys who works for not my team, but one of the teams we work with, came in this week with a mohawk. Exactly the way I'm wearing mine. I truly had to keep from laughing out loud. I've known this guy for years, worked around him for years. I've never seen him do his hair like this, and all of a sudden he comes in, spotting a mohawk with it combed back, just like I do for work. I laughed so very, very hard. Just didn't even know. So you may set other people free just by being you. I wear my hair like this because my daughters like it. My children picked out this hairstyle. Totally their doing. They're the only people I'm trying to impress, them and my wife. So I don't do it for any other reason but that. And you can do the same thing. Not your hair, not your facial hair, your clothes, whatever it is, do your thing and just be you. Now, when you bring something unique to the world, sorry, I'm saying this wrong. I should look at my notes better. The other reason that individuality is important is you bring something to the world that is totally unique. As you are the sum of all your experience and influence, you're raising this part of your experience and influence. There's never been another you. I know a lot of people like to say things like that, but guys, it's absolutely true. Yes, there are people who have had similar experiences. There are people who have similar tastes or hobbies or lifestyles. But you are the sum of all your experience and of all your influences, which makes for a really unique formula because you take a person, you take their experiences, and their influences, and you wrap them all together, and you really don't know how that's going to come out. You don't know what the resulting product is going to be. Because with your various experiences and influences in your life and who you are as a person, it's like this volatile cocktail of chemicals that just, it can be explosive. You never know exactly what it's going to be. You bring something 100% entirely unique to the world that no one else before you has ever brought in. It is so important for you to just be you. Any more coffee? If this is your first time on the show, I drink a lot of coffee. If you're a regular listener, you know I can't get through these things without several cups of coffee. Oh, and while I'm thinking about it, hey guys, if you like what you're hearing, check out my Patreon page. I'm the Fallible Man on Patreon as well. That's not in the commercial. Now, if you believe in what I'm saying and what I'm doing, let me know. You can support me too. Who knew, right? I'm learning all kinds of new stuff as we take this journey together, guys. I'm really new at this whole... I don't want to call myself an influencer because I'm not. But I care about you as a person and who you are as a man because your uniqueness is bringing something to the world. Who you are, who you're meant to be, brings something to the world that nobody else can bring. Because you are the sum of your experiences and the influences in your life. Guys, don't go with the flow. Men lead. They are capable of following. They follow when necessary. But men also lead. Be a pathfinder. Be a trailblazer. Just be you. Don't go with the flow. Don't be like everyone else. Couple final thoughts. Okay? And as promised, because you stuck around with me, goodness gracious, another truck. This is unreal. Sorry, guys. I really don't have this much traffic normally. So, here's the final thoughts I promised you guys for sticking through the whole thing. Here are 3 thoughts you need to square with in your head as an individual, and it will give you permission to be happy with who you are. Right? Really, really simple thoughts. You are in control of what you achieve, so you can achieve what you want. You can achieve. If you have a growth mindset and understand that you are in control of what you do, then you can pick and choose what you want to do. You can achieve the goals you want to achieve because you are capable of adjusting, growing, changing, learning, and doing whatever you need to reach those goals. That's the first thought. Next thought, you have value. Respect yourself, and others will respect you too. This goes back to you bring something unique to the world. You really do. There's not another you. So understand that you are something of value. That you have value. You are someone of value. Once you understand that you have value and respect yourself because of it, other people will sense that and respect you as well. It's amazing what happens when you actually start respecting yourself. And finally, this is something my dad taught me from an early age, guys. No one can elicit anything from you without your consent. You have to give people permission for anything. Weird thought, right? Can I flesh that out just a hair? I won't go long on it, I promise. You have to give people the ability to make you feel bad. They can't make you feel bad unless you let them. It doesn't matter what they say. You know the whole old sticks and stones may break my bones, words can never hurt me? Stupid, but true. Okay? No one can make you feel anything that you don't give them permission to make you feel. If you respect yourself as someone of value, then you control anything that comes out of you. No one can elicit that response. No one can make you angry unless you let them make you angry. No one can make you feel bad unless you let them make you feel bad. No one can make you look bad unless you choose to look bad. Even if they make you look silly, you can brush it off and handle it with dignity and self-respect, get a little laugh at yourself, and that you take all their power away. No one can have anything from you that you don't give them. Now, this only works if you square with being yourself. And these three things, okay, knowing that you can achieve what you want, knowing that you are in control of how other people, knowing you are in control that other people can't take anything you don't give them. Okay, this is getting ridiculous. I gotta wrap this up. Knowing that you are in control and no one can take anything from you because you are in control, knowing that you have the power to do what you want and that you have value as a person. Guys, understanding those three things will let you be happy just being you. You don't have to impress anybody. You don't have to please anybody. You don't have to be who anybody else wants you to be if you can square with those thoughts. Guys, I'm Brent. I am the Fallible Man. This is a channel where we are trying to help men reach their full potential and be the best men they can be. Thanks for spending time with me today. Be better tomorrow because of what you do today, and I'll see you in the next one.
This has been the Fallible Man Podcast, your home for everything man, husband, and father. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a show. Head over to www.thefallibleman.com for more content and get your own Fallible Man gear.